Do you ever feel like your brain is a slow computer? You're talking to someone in English and they ask you a simple question, but instead of just answering, your brain starts working overtime. You hear the English words, you translate them into your own language, you think of an answer in your language, and then you try to translate it back into English. By the time you're ready to speak, there's an awkward silence or the conversation has already moved on. It's frustrating, right? You feel stuck. But what if I told you that you could skip all that hard work? Today, I'm going to show you how to cut out the middleman and finally start speaking without the struggle. The biggest mistake most of us make when learning a language is thinking that we need to be a human dictionary. We think that if we just learn enough words, we will suddenly be able to speak perfectly. But that's not how it works. The secret isn't just knowing more words, it's about changing how your brain handles those words. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to stop translating in your head and start thinking in English. This is the exact path you need to take if you want to speak English fluently and confidently in any situation. Let's start with the very first step, and it's much easier than you think. You don't need to start with big, complex ideas. You need to start with naming. Look around your room right now. What do you see? Don't think of the word in your native language. If you see a chair, look at it and say chair in your head. If you see a window, say window. Do this all day long. When you're walking down the street, name the things you see: tree, car, dog, blue sky. This might seem too simple, but what you're actually doing is building a direct bridge in your brain. You're connecting the object directly to the English word without using your native language as a bridge. If you do this for a few days, your brain starts to realize that it doesn't need to translate table anymore, it just knows what it is. Once you've got the naming down, it's time to move to the next level: simple sentences. Instead of just coffee, think, I am drinking coffee. Instead of just car, think, that car is fast. Again, keep it very simple. Don't worry about perfect grammar or using fancy words. The goal here is speed, not perfection. You want your brain to get used to putting English words together automatically. Now, let's talk about something I call the narrator technique. This is where you become the storyteller of your own life. Throughout the day, try to describe what you're doing as you're doing it. In your head, say things like, okay, now I'm opening the fridge, I'm looking for some milk, oh, we're out of milk, I should go to the store. This is powerful because you're using English in real-life situations. You aren't reading from a textbook, you're talking about your real life. Since you know your own life better than anyone, it's much easier for your brain to find the words. If you find yourself stuck on a word, don't stop and check your phone. Just try to describe it. If you can't remember the word for umbrella, just think, the thing that keeps me dry in the rain. This teaches your brain to be flexible and stay in English mode even when things get tough. Another huge tip is to change your environment. Think about how much time you spend on your phone. Probably a lot, right? Go into your settings and change the language to English. Yes, it will be a bit confusing for the first day or two. You might struggle to find your settings or your photos, but that's actually a good thing. It forces your brain to solve problems using English. You'll start seeing words like delete, save, share, and notifications so many times that they become part of your natural vocabulary. We also need to talk about how you learn new words. Most people learn a new English word by writing down the translation next to it. Stop doing that. When you see a new word, try to look up the definition in an English-to-English dictionary, or even better, look at a picture of it on Google. If you learn that the word gigantic means very, very big, you are staying inside the English bubble. If you translate it, you are popping that bubble and going back to your old habits. Another thing that really helps is listening to active English. This doesn't mean just having the TV on in the background while you do chores. It means listening to a podcast or a video and trying to repeat what the person said. Not word for word, but just the general idea. This gets your mouth used to the sounds and your brain used to the patterns of the language. One of the most important parts of this journey is to stop being afraid of making mistakes. When you worry about grammar, you slow down. When you slow down, your brain has time to start translating. It's better to say a sentence with a small mistake quickly than to spend 2 minutes building a perfect sentence in your head. The more you speak, the more natural it becomes. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you've spent 20 years speaking your native language, that muscle is very strong. The English muscle is probably a bit weak right now. At first, thinking in English will feel tiring. Your brain will want to give up and go back to what's easy. That's okay. Start with just 5 minutes a day, then move to 10. Before you know it, you'll catch yourself thinking in English without even trying. You might even start having dreams in English, and that is when you know you've truly made it. Remember, this is a journey. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you follow these steps, naming objects, narrating your day, changing your phone settings, and using English to English definitions, you will see a massive change. You'll stop feeling like a student and start feeling like a speaker. I really hope these tips help you feel more comfortable and confident when you speak. If you found this video helpful and you want to keep improving your English every single day, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out and ensures you don't miss any of my future lessons. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one right here at 10 Minute English Academy. Happy learning!